Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast. I am Sajanya, and I'm really excited to be, hosting this session. So today we are diving into something that's changing the way we think about integration and development also. So that's nothing but the MuleSoft Dev Agents. So like as a MuleSoft developers, we always focused on API-led connectivity, reusable assets, and automations. But now, with the rise of AI-powered agents, the question is how AI will help us to enhance the way we code, right? That's the most important question these days, I would say. So like before deep dive into this discussion, let me welcome to our guest, that is Yogesh. So thank you so much, Yogesh, for joining us today. How are you doing, and can you please let us know about yourself? But yeah, first tell me how you are doing today.
Yeah, hi Sujanya. Thank you so much. I'm doing pretty well. And how are you?
I'm doing good. I mean, yeah, we are discussing this topic, right? So I'm really excited about it.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. So this has been around the corner for a long time, and now we are seeing multiple options coming up and really changing how we used to code traditionally. So I think it is a good disruption, and
Absolutely.
it is a new future also for development.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So Yogesh is also my, he's my coworker. He's also working in Accelerate Soft Tech and who has been actively working on the innovative integration and AI-driven solutions. So yeah, welcome to this session, Yogesh. Thank you for joining us here. Yeah, like I would like to bring up few more points here before we go deep dive into the architecture and the use cases. So let's set the stage first. When we say the MuleSoft Dev Agent, we are not just talking about the automation scripts or APIs. We are also talking about the intelligent agent, right, that can orchestrate APIs, trigger workflows autonomously, handle exception smartly, and potentially reduce manual developer effort. That is the most important thing, I would say. Right, Yogesh?
Exactly. Yeah. I second you. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, just can you please give me some brief, like what MuleSoft Dev Agent is, or we just want to know curiously about it.
Absolutely. So as we see, we have a lot of AI agents coming up, doing their purpose, some actionable items, and making life easier. Right. So anything which needs automation plus intelligence that can be done with a AI agent. So in the similar way, we have been seeing like a lot of dev agents are coming up, which
Yeah.
helps our developer to code and maintain their actual software codes. So uh, it started with actual implementation, but now we are seeing they are also helpful in maintaining the organization level standards. We also have recommended best practices, among others. Like we have also explored the extended capabilities for these agents, and yeah, it's very much helpful for our developers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing this term AI everywhere, right? So the most, the frequent question comes in my mind that is like, why should this business leaders care about AI-led connectivity and AI-led this dev right now? I mean, it's going right. It's going. People are going crazy about AI. So can you please
Uh,
give me some brief about it?
Absolutely. So I think it's a high time that we start optimizing our workflow with AI agents because, as you know, today the software is not just a support system, but it's a backbone for most of the businesses around us.
Yeah.
And the core benefit, or I would say the direct business benefit of using AI agents for development is timing. It reduces your timing significantly, so which leads to lesser time to market, and it can directly impact your revenue system when we are live faster.
Yeah,
So
I
I think
mean,
that's why it's very crucial time to start with the agents.
yeah, definitely. I mean, who don't want to save the time and cost as well, right? So, like, is it just an incremental tweak, or you will say the fundamental shift?
I would say this is a fundamental shift because what we saw in last decade was automation for manufacturing. The manufacturing industry has shifted a lot from that. So same would happen with the software industry. So this AI agents will not only make a slight or little changes, but it will foundationally change how we used to develop. And yeah, it will be a breakthrough, I think.
Well, Yogesh, like, thank you so much for bringing up these points. I mean, I am now pretty clear about AI dev agent. So there is one question from my side. Okay, like technically, what does this AI dev actually encompasses?
Yeah, so technically speaking, it has a lot of access to the varied code systems, the best practices. It can also think about the best logic. It can help us to validate our business scenarios. So basically, from documentation, like from high level design, then documentation, implementation, automation, automated coding, I would say automated testing, and so on. So it is very much capable given the huge data sets and rules around it. So yeah, technically it can do a lot of stuff which our developers do day to day.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Definitely, that's awesome. It's covering a lot more tasks, what we as a developer do in our day to day life, right? So it's really awesome. So like this AI, does this AI introduces the risk into development lifecycle? What do you think about it from the security perspective?
Yeah, I would say like if unmanaged, it could bring some of the security concerns or impact. Uh, but yeah, when followed with the best practices, it can also help us to use those standards across our organization. So
Yeah.
it's I would say more about like how we want to use our AI, right? If we use it with best governance and we use private models, it can actually complement our compliance standards.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, best practices are always our, lifesaver. If we are doing it in a best way, it always saves the time. Plus, the security wise also, it's really good. Yeah. So, thank you for bringing this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So now right? This the rumors are there. AI is going to do this. AI is going to be do that, right? So, do you think like do developer resist this adoption of this whole AI concept?
Sometimes, yes, it feels like it may stole our jobs, but I would say like it is more of kind of a specialized assistance for our developers. Once the developers actually use it, they will see that it really helps to reduce redundant and drudge work and help us to focus on what actually matters and how we can improvise our business logics and give more output what matters most instead of just the redundant work.
Yeah, so now
So
I'm excited to see this because the
yeah, I
thing is that
think
I don't like the repetitive things. As a developer, I
absolutely,
also do, some repetitive task on daily basis. So I don't want to do that for sure. Like no
exactly.
developer gonna like that, right? So I think this is exciting
I
if
think
this AI dev agent is going to solve our problem, and that's
I
amazing.
think this will bring eventually more job satisfaction as well for our developers.
For sure, for sure. So okay, like we know now how AI dev agents are gonna help us, help developers, to eliminate the repetitive work, and they are doing our job. They are making our job easy. So, do you think from a traditional coding endpoint, I would say, like, what are the biggest financial drains in traditional development?
Yes, so speaking financially, as we know, at least 30 to 40% of our developer time, right? It is gone into something redundant, or let's say something which can be easily done by AI, which is maybe boilerplate code, right? So once this is eliminated, our developers will be more productive, definitely, right? So this can especially help in our financial, optimization for our projects, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. So, like, I mean, you want to say the problem isn't the lack of skill, but it's the just plain inefficiency.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. Like our developers are highly skilled. It's
Mm-hmm.
just we are trying to reduce their, I would say, less productive work so that they can focus more and be more productive in their
Definitely. Yeah,
projects.
it is gonna save their time so
Absolutely.
that they can focus on the more creative things. So yeah, definitely. Um, where do the most significant technical delays occur in your previous projects? You might have faced these issues. So can you bring some, you know, your previous experience here?
Absolutely. So most of the time we start with our boilerplate coding. Then we go for the documentation, which can take a lot of time, even more than implementation sometime. Uh, Missing on the significant quality and standard aspects, which even matter most. The code reviews, which can be also time consuming sometime and easily passed. Uh, Debugging in the hypercare or once we are live, right? So these are some of the things which take most of our time, and we have been easily able to control these things, which will eventually lead to on-time completion of our projects, because these can significantly reduce the time, maybe around 50 to 60%. So yeah, this will help us to be compliant with the timings and deadlines for our project.
Right, right, right. So, like from a developer perspective, like as a developer, I am more concerned about the security, right? So, do you
Mhm.
think like this manual process, more prone to compliances risk? Do you think that?
Yes, like lately we have seen, like due to the pressure of stricter timelines, right, or human natures to sometime avoid some things which doesn't matter most or are not directly the functional requirement, right? So we can easily overlook those of things. So definitely, once the agent is in place to do those things, it will be lesser that it is skipped. And we can also have the monitoring agents, or let's say code review agents, which can help us to identify those gaps and work on those accordingly. So definitely, like it will be more standard and more automated kind of stuff, that these, I would say, essential things are not skipped.
Yeah, I mean that's really great. But the thing is that why organizations, haven't fixed this because they are doing it. We are doing it now, right? But why they haven't
Mhm.
done it earlier?
I
Because it's a
would
big problem.
say we have tried a lot of time, but
Mm-hmm.
the returns were not as proportional to the investment we have made so far. Like traditional optimization can help us to increase the returns by few percentages, but this AI-led can change it drastically, as we discussed earlier as well. Like this is a foundational change, and it can give a lot of good return. So that's why I think this transition is happening now. Earlier, it was not as easy as it is now.
So, I would say after hearing from you this much about AI dev agents, I would say this is nothing but the magic, right? Because it is solving lot more problems which we are facing as a developer, right?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
I would say that it seems like that, but I would say down the line, within few years, we will see this as usual, because it's nothing magic but pure rules and
Rules.
strict implementation of what agents can
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
Yeah, the best practices. So yeah, of course, of course.
absolutely.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. When, so what tangible, transformation does this AI enable for us?
Yes, so I would say like faster release cycle, as we discussed, like it will drastically reduce the times, so which will eventually lead to reduced cost, uh, because it will help as a specialized assistant to our developers, right? So that developer can focus more on what they need to do, the human aspects, and more of thinking, right? And the agents can handle the redundant work, so it will reduce cost, higher quality of code because it can be easily managed by rules within same scope of time. It does not need additional time for better standards, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
of course.
so, and I think last but not least, the developer job satisfaction. So it will help us to improve the retention of our developers, and I think they would be feeling more satisfied in their job role.
Yeah, I mean, that is must to have, I guess I would say. But yeah, definitely. As the business grows, so, we need faster deliverables. So it is going to help us for sure. So, like, what kind of tools are leading this charge these days?
Yes. So as we are seeing, more and more tools are coming up like GPT, Codex, Anthropic. Apart from that, for document also we have AI Doc Maker. For
Mm-hmm.
testing as well, I am sure like there would be n number of AI intelligent testers, right? So there
Mm-hmm.
are generalized as well as specialized AI agents in the market focusing on their niche. But as a MuleSoft Dev Agent, which we are using, and we have also developed a version in-house, it helps you to control the end-to-end life cycle of a MuleSoft app, starting from the high-level design till the operations uh, where we support business as usual, right, to maintain their production systems. So this all can be done with a single tool like Mule Dev Agent, using some of the rule sets and instructions over and above the generic LLMs.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
So
so there are quite a couple of good options, but yeah, it will depend on your use case to use case basis.
yeah, I mean, that's for sure. But now I'm more curious, like behind the picture, how AI is doing all of these things. Like, how actually this AI understand the code, context of code, how it is doing all this stuff.
Yes, you're right. So this can be overwhelming sometime, but I think the models which we are using are trained on a varied data sets. Apart from that, they recognize and learn from the patterns which we use for every development. They are good with implementing the repetitive logic structures, right? And they can also follow our architectural best practices. So this is, I think, the recipe to make a good agent. Like they should be able to learn, adapt, and improve from what we code day in and day out, right? So this is what we bring our dev agent for. So they use all these things and create a specialized, uh, I would say, specialized agent for our mules of development.
Okay. So that sounds like this AI agents are having their own sense, right? To do this job, do not do this job. So they have their own decision making. Do you want to say that?
Yes, they can learn and they can adapt to those conditions. Like if same condition is repeating or maybe even significantly or changed as well, but if they can see a pattern, so definitely they can make a decision based on those conditions.
Okay, so again, my developer mind is concerned about the security. So, do you think this AI accidentally can generate the insecure code? Is it
Yes,
possible?
like at the stage right now, it's very much possible. But the best part is the governance. So there is a complete governance methodology which need to be in place while using these AI. And I would say the best approach right now is also human in loop approach. So our developers will stay at the core of this, but they will be helped with the AI assistance. So,
Okay.
so yeah, short is yes, but it can be managed.
So this AI is reviewing everything it is doing, right? So do you think that it is replacing the human code review here in this picture?
Uh, no, no, definitely no. because
Okay.
it enhances our capabilities. It does not replaces a developer, but it enhances them to be more efficient, be more satisfied with what they do, and it speeds up uh, the overall process. But it does not replaces anybody. So yeah, this is a kind of smart assistance for our developer.
Okay, so I think it's a big change, right? Like I would say, kind of a technology change, from here to there. So, like, how are you going to introduce this AI without disrupting the team, right? So, how we are going to do that?
Yes, so I think a good pathway would be to start with some pilot projects,
Mm-hmm.
implement the usage guidelines and governance what are required for your business use cases, and measure your results like returns, how beneficial you see them, and then scale it to your whole organization. So I think
Okay.
that
So
is, yeah, what we
now,
can do.
yeah, of course, of course. I mean, that's a good plan, I would say. But now, I have learned, I've heard more about this AI dev agent. So, can we, see some demo if you have some, so that, I can understand it more deeply. Do you have any demo with us?
Absolutely. Sure, Sujanya. So today we will be seeing the extended capabilities of our dev agent. So traditionally, we have always seen the code implementation or ML creation from our dev agent, but today we'll explore how it can help us to create high-level design document. In the right section, you can see that we have created a rule set to create HLDs. It's a markdown file, and we can easily change our business requirement in the prompt itself. So we have a good standard format where we can provide all the required details like source system, target system, etc. Depending on our business requirement, which keep on changing, but there are always some standard rules like the table of content, what sections it should have, how much level of depth it is needed, right? So all of that stuff is maintained in the rules.md. So like now I have given that prompt, and it will analyze all the details we have shared and will give the output in the HLD rules according to the rules we have provided, right? So it help us to standardize the format without missing any of the details. So yeah, you can see the speed, and we will definitely see the accuracy, how it works. So yeah, definitely there were some of the challenges and limitation of dev agent as is. So we have overcome those using workarounds as well as using some of the custom plugins. We'll see those as well, how we do this. So as you see that the markdown file is complete, and we will see that in the source directory as well. Yes, so here the task is completed, we can see, and it also provides us a good summary of what it has done so far. Right. Yeah, so here we can see the HLD document.markdown file. Currently it is markdown, but for our business requirement, we will read the Word document actually, right? So we have found a plugin that is Pendoc Render, which can help us to create a Word document from this markdown file. So let's see. Yes, so you can see how the formatting is done, exactly how we need it. So this is a best standard we have followed so far for HLD, and we have included all these details like scope, assumption, constraint, right, the business risk, and everything. So yeah. Also, the good part is it is highly customizable from our rules markdown file whenever we need to add new topic, or we need to curtail some of the details. It is easily manageable for client to client basis. Yeah, so this was about HLD. I would also like to share about the LLD. Okay, so low level design. So I think anybody can assume like it will be same way as we are doing for our HLD, right? But to our surprise, we even do not need to provide any details. We can simply check out the code from our GitHub, whatever we have implemented, and then our dev agent can summarize it. Let's see, like, so in the LLD, we have provided it all the guidelines, like summarize this and extract these details and fill it in table of content and so on. So it's actually very smart, and it can even have more benefits, right, of analyzing the code. So yeah, so this is another extended capabilities of Dev Agent. Here we will need a very simple prompt of just say create ILLD document from the source project, right? And we can give its name. So it will show you all these instructions it is following, and if it needs some of the inputs from the user, it will just request them here itself. So let's see how it goes. Yes, so it will ask for each and every permission which we can define for read write. So yeah, human is always in loop wherever needed, and we can control the flow exactly how we want. So it's not like we just give the instructions and get the output, but we are also in loop for every action that is performed with this agent. Yeah, so this part will be same, like it has got all the details, and now it's for formatting the .md file, and then similar way we can use the pen docker render to create the actual low-level design document out of it. So I think, what do you think? Like, is it good? Is it exciting? And as a developer, you can tell like how much time it could probably save for you as well.
So to be honest, Yogesh, I really loved it because this is really amazing. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that it is doing our half of the job. You just need to give the prompt, and your half of the job is done, which I personally don't like to do. So I really loved it. I mean, this is going to
Exactly.
be the time saver and the effort saver. I would say I really like this, and I'm really
Yes.
excited to use this in my projects because I really don't like to do this HLD and LLD design document. I'm gonna definitely use this one for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, same here. I feel like we are always working on the actual challenging work, but this is always what we not, like to do as much. So this will be definitely helpful. Like we can use AI agent to create, but yeah, definitely will review it, improve it if needed, and give it a human touch. So this is a win-win for us, I think.
Yeah, definitely it's a win-win situation. Like what all the jobs I don't like to do, AI can do that for me, right? And meanwhile, it is
Exactly.
not taking my job, which I was really afraid of. So that's that's amazing,
No,
amazing.
definitely. That it still needs the human supervision and governance, I would say. So here we can see like how the table of content is reflected along with the glossary and everything you need in this Word document, and I think in 5 minutes, which could have taken
Yeah.
us in conservative approach also around couple of hours at least. So this was about LLD, and you can see how beautifully it has reflected in this document, right? So I would highly recommend, like, it also help us, monitor our apps. Like once you have deployed them to testing system or production in hypercare, right? So what we used to do is like manually go through the logs, right? And or we have some services which can help us to monitor the error logs. Then we used to research about it. Then we used to find the probable cause for it, right? So all of that, then fix it. So it's a good life cycle in itself, like the process of steps which we need to follow to fix a simple issue, right? So uh, in this, I would show like our MCP plugin which we have created in house, so which can be used with any MCP host. So by giving some of the authorization of, let's say, just accessing the logs from any point platform, we can create a real-time monitoring solution. So yeah, let's see it in action. So here I have given just the app name and the duration for which I need to check for the issues, probable issues. And I have given some of the rule set in the again markdown file where I have defined like what service it should use for what environment. So yeah, it is easily configurable according to our business requirements. We can have a lot of MCPs configured and it will dynamically choose what is probably the best for the query or user has asked for, right? So here, as we can see that I am just asking it to check for the error logs for this app and this duration. So yeah, so behind the scenes, it will go to our own specific MCP server. It will detect, and then it will fetch the logs, analyze those logs, filter for the date or any other filter parameter which we have given, then analyze the root cause. After the root cause is found, it will also suggest you the probable solution steps. So I think it will just cut down your research and you just need to take the action which is best for your application. So here we can see like it is asking if it is a dev or UAT environment because we have not specifically mentioned it in our prompt. And once I select it, it will just use that instruction and get me the actual output for that environment. So yeah, let's wait for this. Yes, so I am going for dev logs and it is requesting the data. Yes, so we can see that these are the parameters which have been used. And yeah, this is the logs which we have got from our endpoint platform application. Yes, so here we can see the log summary. Like we do not need to search for specific errors. It will easily show us the timestamp, error type, and everything associated with it, whatever we need. And yeah, we can then continue with the simple prompts like give me the root cause for this or the probable resolution steps according to our needs. So this is a one point shop for all our operations to fix our quick bugs and so on. Yeah. Yeah, so that's about it. So, Dinesh, so how we do this and what are the new things we have figured out from this? So how are you feeling now for this?
I mean, personally, I just love this one because it's doing all of the things which I personally don't like to do as a developer, right? It's creating HLD, LLD, it's doing monitoring for my, on behalf of
Mhm.
me. So it's doing half of my job without taking my job. So I really love this one. That's
Yeah,
really
I'm glad
amazing.
to hear that. I think, yeah, that's exactly what we need to look for, like how we can optimize and enhance our deliverables with the use of these agents.
Absolutely right.
So you
I
are right
really,
on the
I,
point.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love this thing. I am really excited, to use this in my project. So half of my time will be saved and I can focus on some other creative stuffs, right? So I personally like this one. Let's discuss some, the real things like the ROI and all, right? It takes this is, solving these many problems. So I mean, definitely it is going to take a lot of investment, right? So how do you think like the leaders justify this investment?
Actually, that's also a good question. Like, this comes first from the business, like, what's the ROI, right? Why should we invest in this now? So, I would say, like, the best approach, which we are also following out right now, is tracking the KPIs, right? Like, what's the time to market reduction, right? How every feature is cost, like what is the cost per feature. And not only this, I think the main part is overall defect reduction, right? So every defect caused in production, has a cost, right? It is more than what we could have contained in a QA environment, test environment, right? If it has failed in production, it will definitely have more cost, more pressing deadlines, urgent SLAs to meet, right? So these are all the factors I think which a leader or business leader can consider and to evaluate the actual return on the investment for these agents.
Right, right. I mean, yeah, for sure. Another thing, like apart from the technical stuffs, right? What kind of real world improvements you can actually see here, like from the business perspective?
Yeah, sure. So, in the conservative approach, also we have seen 30 to 50% reduction in the time consumption. So it has really expedited our process. It has also brought down the development cost from 25 to 40%, and it has reduced the production defects by almost 60%. So definitely it will have a lot of improvements, and in the real world it will save us a lot of time as well as cost involved for our softwares.
Yeah, of course, of course. I agree because it's doing half of the repetitive jobs, right? Half of the repetitive tasks. So definitely it is going to save the time as well as
Yeah.
the cost. So yeah, that's amazing. I mean, really nice that. Okay. So like what do you think like the technically measurement no the technically measure the impact of an AI tool? How we can
Okay.
measure that?
Definitely. So we have some of the baseline around that as well, like the frequency of code committed, right? So it will eventually go down. Cycle time for per iteration, right? Whenever we get something to QA, then go back to dev. So these kind of cycles will eventually be lesser. The bug density, so we can like have the AI to probably detect the bug at earlier stage, right? And so that's why it will have lesser impacts. Also, the test coverage, as we have seen, we have a lot of framework like MUnits to see the coverage. So with AI assistant, we can increase our coverage to a great extent. So these are some of the technical parameters which can create a baseline for us to compare it with our traditional coding.
Yeah, because that is must, the coverage and all,
Yeah.
right? That is must. We cannot compromise on the code quality and these stuff. So yeah, definitely. um Now, so do you think this ROI include reduced security incidents?
Absolutely, I would say it will help us to be compliant with our security governance. So from compliance and security perspective, it is a great help. And as I told earlier, like detecting a bug early stage is 10 times less, or let's say 10 times cost effective than finding same bug in production. So from security and compliance perspective, this is a best deal, I would say. Yeah. So it helps a lot in those specific scenarios.
Okay. So here the comparison comes, right? Because do you know, right? A traditional way of development, it takes a certain amount of time. So
Mhm.
and with the help of this, because once it is launched and we are, started to using this, so like how soon can a company see the ROI? Because that matters a lot.
Yes. So if we go for the timeline, I would say companies would see the impact as soon as, let's say, a quarter or 3 months for the initial pilot phase where they can start with the simple projects, right? So they can see like within 3 months they will see the time to market, reduced incidents, right? The job satisfaction for their developers, right? New brainstorming coming up when they get their time back, right? So this is one thing, and at the organization level, I would say it can take up to 12 to 18 months to see full effect. Yes, so that's the standard timeline, I would say.
Wow, I mean, only 3 months, right? So That is
Copilot.
going to be amazing. Yeah, of course, of
Yes.
course. Yeah. So, like, we have heard a lot about this AI driven, stuff. So, if you had to summarize AI led development in just one sentence, to our for our listeners, so how would you say that?
Yes, so it will be same as what we keep repeating in our session throughout today. So AI will like it's not meant to replace our developers, but to assist them. It removes the friction from the innovation so that they get more time to innovate, and it also helps us to multiplies the human capacity. Like same developer can actually be more productive and give more deliverables in the same time. So that's the
That's
concise, I think, summary for today's session.
I think that's everyone, was looking for. So we got it, right? Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
so much, Yogesh, to bring this up to us, for our concern. And we are really excited to use this one. Thank you so much.
yes. Thanks, Ajanya. And yeah, thanks everyone from our audience. So if you have any questions or queries, or if you would like to see more of our demos, so please let us know through the comments, I think, and we'll be glad. You know, over to you,
Definitely.
Sajanya, like you can add more always.
I mean, definitely, we will be glad, we will be happy, to
Mhm.
have such conversation because these conversations are the one, right, we are always excited about because the this AI driven things, I'm this AI is a hot topic these days, right, and I'm really really
Yes,
really excited to hear more about this. So thank you so
absolutely.
much, Yogesh, for bringing this up. And everyone, if you have any questions, please ping us. Uh, we are here to help you, and thank you so much for joining us today, Yogesh, and all the audience. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sajanya. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Yeah, have a nice day.